we start with our debate, may I request everyone to please stand for a prayer to be led to us by Mr. Poligan.
Let us build and burn the most holy vessels.
Name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Lord, in before this day, Lord, in before blessings that we receive, Lord. Give Lord, some limited kami na pagpapalin to pour out your knowledge and wisdom upon us, God. Isa to create some protection, Lord God, kaya makawal na namin this day, Lord.
And now see that. Blessed morning, everyone.
Blessed morning.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So how are you today? Are you still beautiful and handsome?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I hope all is well. Okay, today we will have an issue to be resolved. This house believes that the use of cellular phone be banned during class hours. Arguing from the affirmative side, we have A. Slabatan, and we have Ms. Hussein Ann de los Santos, and Romel Alvis. From the negative side, we have Mr. Gil Balanay, Floricio Hasapat, and Jerome Veloso. In this debate, we will choose the best debater or speaker, as well as a winning team based on their exposition. So to help me in the decision making on who will be the winner, let me introduce to you our distinguished panel of judges. We have the TLE coordinator, Ms. Leia Pilongo. We also have our second judge, an English teacher, Mrs. Flora K. Clark. And our chairman of the Board of Judges, we have our master teacher one, at the same time the English paper advisor, Mrs. Julita C. Flores. Okay, we also have our moderator, Elena Guillen. Our timer, we have Angel Guillen. And of course, we have our videographer, Ms. Louise Becerra, and Sophia. Asan na to Sophia? Okay. To start with our proper debate, may I call in now our moderator.
Thank you, ma'am. Again, good morning, speakers, judges, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Elena Guillen. Welcome to the debate. Today, we are using the modified Argonne Oxford format. The debate is between two sides, the affirmative and the negative, with 3 members each. Each debater from the affirmative side argues either the necessity, beneficiality, or practicality of proposition, while the counterpart debaters of the opposite side oppose these arguments. Each debater is given 2 minutes, again, 2 minutes to deliver a constructive speech and rebuttal the previous argument, to interpolate or cross-examine the opposing debater. Only categorical questions may be asked. Once you hear this sound, that means your time is up. Okay, speakers? Each of the 3 judges may ask only 1 question each speaker within that speaker's time limit. So here is the criteria for judging today's debate. Evidence is 25%, delivery 30%, interpolation 30%, Rebuttal 15% with a total of 100%. Again, evidence is 25%, delivery 13% with a total score of 100%. The judge's tool was
The main reason that parents advocate for their kids having phones in the classroom is that they want to be able to reach them in case of emergency. In order for them to be able to receive that emergency, however, they have to not only leave their phones on, but also check if their phones constantly to ensure that they receive this message. Most likely, they'd be wading through a lot of distracting and non-emergency messages throughout this school day, on the chance that something important might get sent. The good thing about schools is that they have secretaries to facilitate emergency calls, so parents can call the school rather than the student. School schedules make it easy to locate a student at any point throughout the day, so an important message can be passed along with a little effort. The only time that they will be able to use their phones will be during lunch, after schools, and free play. For an emergency, they can call their parents or guardians, but the cell phones will have to be with the teacher and will have the permission to get their phones. So it is now needed to strictly impose the Debit Order 83 Series of 2003 reiteration of Department of Education, Culture, and Sports orders.
Thank you, Ms. Ace Labadan. Now, Mr. Balanay will be given 1 minute. 1 minute to interpolate Ms. Labadan.
As you have said, or cellular phones can be distracting. Isn't it the paper and pen can be distracting tool too, or we can use a paper and pen to be a cheating tool too? Is it a tool in cheating too? Yes or no? So shall we ban pen and paper too?
No.
No further questions.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Balanay. Now, you will be given the floor to rebut the previous argument. You're given 2 minutes.
Your time starts now.
Good morning, everyone. Mobile devices are great for teaching 21st century skills. If you want students to learn to collaborate, what better tool can use than phone? Video conferencing with people all over the world becomes easy. One of the main arguments against student phone use is that students might cheat. My response that tests that are so lacking rigor that students can look up answers on a phone or get them from another students are lousy and outdated in the world where information is free and easy. We need to get used to the fact that students need to know stuff nearly as much as they need to learn to use that stuff. Policies that ban cell phones because students might text each other are short-sighted. For example, without a doubt, a cell phone can be a tool for cheating, and cheating is something we must crack down on. But does that mean we should ban any material that can be used for cheating, including pencils and pens? Because it is obviously impossible to learn in such environment. The Department of Education, as with other aspects of the discipline code, must empower its staff to prevent cheating and impose consequences if cheating is discovered. Likewise, with respect to cell phones, the Department of Education must empower its staff and be willing to impose the consequences for a violation. As Kevin Haligat, a technology integration specialist at Education Services and Staff Development Association of Central Kansas, is fond of saying, students used to pass notes on paper with rubber band paper.
Thank you, Mr. Balanay. Ms. A. Sabalay, you are given 1 minute to interpolate your opponent.
So you have stated earlier that cellular phones stop students from cheating class. Am I right?
Yes.
And it can also used to share inappropriate pictures.
Yes.
So the teachers are responsible to monitor if the students appropriately use their phones. Right?
Yes. Teachers need to teach students responsible ways to
Okay,
use
so you are
cellular phones
saying
during class
that
hours.
it is an additional work to be done with the teachers.
Yes.
But there are some cases that teachers were involved because of the hard-headed students who use their phones during class.
Disregard the attitude of the student.
And it would end up to a worse case because some teachers can be
Time's up. Thank you very much, Ms. Lavadan, and also thank you, Mr. Balanay. So they discussed the necessity of the proposition. So Ms. A. Lavadan discussed the necessity of the proposition, and Mr. Balanay indicated that. Now, the second speaker from the affirmative side will talk.
The speaker should be given, the exposition speech should be given a warning before he or she ends, so that he or she can synthesize his speech.
Okay, sige. Okay, 30 seconds, you will hear a single ring of the bell. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Carl, for the suggestion. Okay, now, Ms. Azucena de los Santos will now be taking the floor to discuss the beneficiality of the proposition. We're given 2 minutes.
Your time starts now.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, especially to the Board of Judges and to our opponents. So I'll be talking about the benefits of banning cellular phones during class. New technologies are typically thought of as improving productivity. However, this is not always the case, said Murphy of the University of Texas at Austin. Cellular phones may be useful in some ways, especially during an inquiry of knowledge. But admit it or not all of us use this device only in research. One example I'd like to cite is an instance wherein I observed in class, and obviously almost all of you already did. When our classmates prefer to play games using their phones rather than focusing and listening to the teachers who is truthfully imparting knowledge to them. Some of them even hide it by covering a notebook or putting it into a backpack. Well, I know some of you will relate to this. So here are the benefits when we ban the cellular phones during class hours. First, study shows that students' test score will improve by 6.41%. Apparently, when there are no distractions, we tend to focus on the discussion, and this will help us increase our performance in examinations. Second, this will help prevent cyber addiction, because if students are always allowed to access their phone, they will eventually get addicted to it. Third, this factor can help eradicate cyberbullying by preventing the students to arrange fights after class. Fourth, this averts students to cheat. And lastly, this promotes equality and fairness among students. Yes, cell phones are an important part of our society, particularly that we are 21st century learners. But with students, the misuse of this power is shocking. Just because of the cell phone, they think that ignoring their education, staring at LCD screen for too long, and posting anything they want is fine.
Okay, Ms. De Los Santos. Okay, alright. Now, Mr. Ferrito has a bag. You're given 1 minute. Again, 1 minute to cross-examine your opponent. When you hear the bell, that means 30 seconds. The second time the bell rings, that means your time is up.
No. No.
So, you stated that cell phones is not only for research, right?
Yes, I stated that's correct.
So, you stated also that cyber bullying or cyber sex is can be addictive.
Excuse me, Mr. Speaker, I didn't mention about cyber sex.
You just stated, right?
I only stated about the cyberbullying.
Yes, about cyberbullying and the addiction.
Okay, yes.
Yes. So, if other technologies like not just like cell phones, radios, TVs, there are some addictions in that technology, right?
Yes.
So, we can also ban that technology, right?
Well, you can find that. You can't bring that in school. How could you bring a TV and a radio in a school, though?
No, we can use that because there are
Thank you, Ms. De Los Santos. Now, Mr. Rosamat, you're given 1 minute to rebut the previous argument. Rosamat, you may have the floor. 2 minutes. You're given 2 minutes to rebut the previous argument. Once you hear the bell, that means you only have, once you hear the bell ring first, you have 30 seconds, and when the bell rings the second time, that means your time is up.
Your time starts now.
So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and to our board of judges. Almost all students have a secret, advanced, incredible learning tool tucked away in their pockets that teachers and schools never take advantage of. This device is so powerful, so up to date, that it could revolutionize and intensify the academic learning environment. I bet you're wondering what this wonderful device might be and why the schools aren't using it. This magical device is a cell phone. A smartphone, if you may. Almost everything today have a smartphone or so that they carry around everywhere they go. This device have the power to do many things and could highly improve the learning environment. Plus, there are many features of smartphones that could also improve the learning if it is polished or for teachers and schools not to take advantage of this fairly new technology. Every school and class room should be self-welcome and should encourage their students to bring their cell phones to school. The schools and teachers rejecting and denying the use of cell phones are physically turning their backs to an outstanding learning tool that could.
Your time is up, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much. Alright, now Miss De Los Santos, you are given 1 minute, again 1 minute to cross-examine your opponent.
Good day, Mr. Speaker. You stated in your speech that cellular phones are your way too powerful to do many things, like, right?
Yes.
So when you say it comes with great power, you're aware that with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Yes.
So are you saying that the power that cellular phones has will just impact good things to students?
Yes.
And so okay, proceed. So you also said that this device is a very outstanding tool for learning.
Yes.
So in that case, so you're requiring all the teachers to depend on cellular phones so that they could impart knowledge to students.
Yes, but not all the time we use the cell phone. Maybe there are some restrictions.
Thank you, Ms. De Los Santos and Mr. Josafat. Okay, now for the third speaker for the affirmative side, Mr. Romel Albios will talk about the practicality of the proposition. We have 2 minutes. Your time starts now.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'll be talking about the practicality of banning cellular phones during class. So, at a conceptual level, when considering what technology devices are to be utilized as part of a given project or activity, mobile phones may often be the best technology, but does not make the mobile phones appropriate or practical technology choice for use in schools, other students, and teachers. So here are 5 thoughts-provoking reasons why schools should consider banning cellular phones during class hours. First, academic performance and improvement. According to a study conducted by researchers at the universities, the students forbid students from bringing their smartphones into the classroom. Their grades quickly improve on the whole because students were subsequently more attentive in class. Number 2, it's even better for at-risk students. Students who live in poverty or attend special education classes or have subpar grades benefited approximately twice as much as their peers after ditching the technological distraction. By removing their phones from the classroom, it was the equivalent of adding an extra hour of class per week, a perk that most teachers could only dream of. The fact is that teachers lose almost a full week of school interacting with their phones rather than engaging in class. Third, the emergency debate. The main reason that parents advocate for their kids having their phones in the classroom is that they want to be able to reach them in case of an emergency, right? In order for them to be able to receive that emergency message, however, they have to not only leave their phones constantly to ensure that they have received this message. Most likely, they'll be wading through a lot of distracting,
Speaker. So, for the negative side, Mr. Jerome Veloso will cross-examine his opponent.
So, if the microphone causes one distraction, you better
Ban the microphone.
because the momentum is lost.
Yes. Okay, so I'll be asking more practical question first. So, do you have a cell phone?
Of course, yes.
Do you bring it in school?
Yes.
Do you use it in school? So, cell phone is important to you, right?
Not that much.
Oh, really? So, I know that cell phone can help us, as you said, the academic performance, right? So, I know that cell phone can help us, like researching, thesaurus, dictionaries, and everything, right?
Yes.
So, why should we ban cell phones though? It can help us in school and learning.
Because it causes hazard too.
Yes. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Veloso. Now you argue, the floor is now yours to rebut the previous argument.
So, good morning everyone. So, my boss is not. So, why not ban cell phones during class hours? So first, safety reasons. Disasters are unavoidable and they always distrust our daily activities. It is very important because students has a personal phone to use and contact their parents. Have teachers or police in case something wrong happens. Many times students get mixed up in wrong groups while at school and they get bullied or get involved in wrong acts like drug use. These harmful behaviors have resulted in the deaths of many students, but when parents, friends, teachers, or the police. Next, mobile learning. It is very important for the students to be in position to learn from anywhere at any time. The education world is changing and many scholars attending virtual classrooms. Online education is now becoming so popular than before. Mobile phones have also helped in the growth of learning. When smartphones are used appropriately, learning can continue beyond the walls of the classroom. Students can learn on the move because they have connection to their coursework and to their teacher and peers through their phone. But and the opportunities are more limited. Learning doesn't need to be confined to school hours if their experience is exciting and motivating. Students will not continue to learning. Students will want to continue learning long after the school day. A passion for learning is the best preparation for the future. Let me go.
Thank you, Mr. Deloso. Mr. Malalbios, you are given 1 minute to interpolate your report.
So, good morning. So, you have stated that by the use of cell phone, you can call for help.
Yes.
So how can you call for help where in fact, in that moment, you are not in your state of mind yet? Yes or no?
Well, it's up to you if you will get panic, you go panic over it.
So next is, as what you have said, with the use of technology, learning can continue beyond the walls of the classroom. Am I right, Mr. Speaker? So ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Speaker, are you telling us that without cell phone, learning will not continue beyond the walls of the classroom?
But cell phones are more.
You're out of context. I'm saying that without cell phones, learning will not continue beyond the walls of the classroom, Mr. Speaker.
Maybe, but because cell phones,
I'm just
you can
saying yes
discover
or
more
no.
about it.
Yes or no, Mr. Speaker?
Yes.
That's what
Okay, thank you to all. All of the speakers have talked about the affirmative side talked about the necessity, beneficiality, and the practicality of the proposition, and the negative side has given the rebuttal for the statement. Now the first speakers of both teams will summarize their speech. Any speaker may summarize all of their comments. So, affirmative side, who will be the one to summarize
The team captain should give a summary.
The team captain, one of our judges. Suggested. So, I guess it is you, Ms. Labadan. I'll take the floor.
The team captain of the government.
Executive Order Number 83, Series 2013, the reiteration of Department of Education and Sports Order Number 17, Series 1999 and 26, Series 2000, the prohibiting of students in elementary and secondary education from using cellular phones and pagers during class hours. About the emergency. In order for them to be able to receive the emergency, there will be secretaries in the schools that would check from time to time the cell phones if there is an emergency call from the parents or the power that cell phones give them, they should be kept at far distance during class hours.
Thank you, Ms. Abadan. So I believe that for the negative side, Mr. Balanay will represent.
If teachers or professors are preparing their students for life after school, we should allow them to use the tool they will be using when they get there. At what part of our life can you think of right now where a smartphone is not beneficial? Teachers need to teach students responsible ways to use cellular phones during class hours, keeping them safe by refusing to expose them to technology is irresponsible on their part. Students are using cell phones whether we ban them or not. Policies that ban cell phones because students might text each other are short-sighted. Because as you can see, a cellular phone can be also destructive, but before cell phone was invented, paper and pen can also be a distracting tool too. We can draw on the paper, we can pass messages through a paper, and that too can be also used for cheating. Similarly, cell phone may be the target of grants. Indeed, the Department of Education does not ban from schools other items that are worth a lot more money than cell phones. Instead, it relies as it must
For the affirmative side. So in a scale of 1 to 10, how sure are you are that if the banning of mobile phones during class hours will be implemented, all of the students will pay?
A scale of 1 to 10, like, okay, I think that's
Okay. So any more question? If none, I may ask from the audience. Okay. How about Monica? After listening to the other exposition, which side do you prefer and why?
So while I was listening to the debate, I have come to the conclusion that I will not agree with the banning of cellular phones during class because of these reasons. Letter A, emergencies. Of course, emergencies emergencies don't just happen during break times. It can happen anytime. One example of it is when my grandmother was admitted to the hospital and I didn't know because I don't have a phone with me. And second, education. We don't have books, right? So we need another aid for our education, and I think cell phones would be a very useful tool for our education because everything is one click away in the internet, but we just have to choose the credible sources. And I think that we don't need to ban the cellular phones to be open to cell
We have Alimpulos. So in what way that the use of cell phone is significant in our entrepreneurship subject? In what way that the use of cell phone is significant in our entrepreneurship subject?
The use of cell phones in our entrepreneurship subject would be able to especially because our entrepreneurship subject focuses more on products which we will be presenting to our customers in order for us to pursue them to get the products from us. So it would be a great help because we would be advertising to them what our product is.
Okay. So again, may I ask AJ? If you are told by your teacher using cell phone during class playing COC, how did you feel?
I feel kind of afraid because the teacher might take my phone away and give it back to the smartphone for me.
Okay, did you hear what he said? Okay. So, he is afraid that the teacher might take his phone and will not give it back to him. Maybe on March or May. So beware, students. Okay. So, thank you for your insights and opinion. So for me, as a teacher, we cannot deny that we are in the world of technology. And so, not only the teachers, but also the learners, me as also, is considered also as a learner. So I should be a technology savvy. But, one or not, it is not the reason or the concept is whether you are following the rules or instruction in the classroom. Because there are teachers who will inquire you to use their cell phone to process the learning. And so it's up to you to be responsible enough to be a leader, because a leader is a good follower. So that's all. As my opinion also to the use of cell phone. Be banned or not. It's your responsibility to be to follow the rules and regulation of the school. Okay, so after listening on the insights and opinion, I would like we will have now our verdict from our chairman of the board of judges.
I'm given the floor to do it, no? Okay, so congratulations first and foremost for having no? Okay, so as I have said, I was able to witness all the presentations from yesterday down today. Okay, there might be some a slight difference, but then again it's a matter of deliverance. No? Because in a debate like this, it is tantamount to suing somebody in court. Because when someone is sued, whether he or she is innocent or not, it depends on how the lawyer defends his or her client, right? Yes. Okay, because this is a debate, this is somehow a kind of sue in the court. No? So even if you have the truth, but you're not able to defend, that would defeat the purpose of going to the court. So therefore, in the analysis of the summary, more or less, you have now the idea who would win or who would lose. No? Okay, but then again, one of the themes here had that very important ingredient in a debate or even in a research. There should be a reference, no? Because your opinion is not a fact. Your opinion will only support the facts that you have imposed or you have given, no? Okay, and I see it in the affirmative side, no? And I know you would also agree with me, no? Okay, but again, no? The other side also had there was this defense, but more of the speakers on this area, on this side, got it, no? And here, in the court, well, we'll be back to the court, no? In the court, the lawyers are considered white liars. No? Even if you are innocent, they can make you guilty. Or even if you are guilty, they can make you innocent. No? So it merely depends on the defense mechanism and the defense intensity. No? So you should have the reference, you should have the actuality, and you should have the intensity. And then, when your opponent will ask you a question, no matter what, you should stay on your side. So even if your answer would be yes, but you have to stand for no, you have to stand throughout. Because that is the real defense. No? Okay, then you have set here clear the perimeter during class hours. Murag na niya sa uban, no? During class hours. Okay, just like the yesterday's presentation, premarital sex, but most of them referred to sex alone. But it was premarital, no? Okay, so the parameter is not fully maximized, no? Not fully maximized. So, and additional, no? The ringing of the bell signifies or signals that you have still minutes to go on. It doesn't mean that you are going to have an abrupt stop. You should have a quick mind to have the summary. Do not stop, no? Because more than upon some, no? What they begin me, no? In yesterday's presentation, they were very quick, no? When the bell rang once, okay, they synthesize right away their speech. Do not cut your speech because it would be, it would not give essence. No? Okay, dili. Okay, so, muna siya, no? So, more or less, you have the capacity, you have the ability, but then, you still have you have the potential, no? To become lawyers in the future. No? Okay, and this is the best avenue. This is the best avenue for you to have in the near future. Once again, congratulations and
Okay, to award the winner.
This.
Showing ang numbers ni so you are more prettier than now.
Anyway, congratulations to this whole team because you really done your part. Good job. At your age, you really showed that you are really a good, let me say, good decision maker, good speaker in your own, stand at your own right. So, continue to do so because one of these days maybe you will become Aryan in mapawalang ng mga wakas. Susunod na and cardio in Vinciano. Okay. We have now the result of all our very good speakers, but we have to choose only the best one. Okay. And the best speaker and the best team goes to
Okay, best morning everyone. So, we are happy that you were able to present your sides on the statement. So, let's come up now with our verdict. So, we will announce first the best speaker. So, we have choose this speaker because he really improved. The last, no? And then he was confident when he reads this speech, rebuttal speech. So, the best speaker comes from the negative. It is very clear to all of you. The winning team comes from the
researchers. The other have their insights. So I want you to have your insights. I'll be collecting that tomorrow. And again, thank you. You have a great job. A big hand to everyone.